If you want to step outside the supervisor.
No, I think it's legal to record in here.
No, it's not, sir. It says even on the door.
I'll wait for your supervisor.
Okay.
It has to be backed by a law. You just can put up a sign that says I can't record.
Okay.
All right.
I can new a book test.
Sure. It has to be a state statute behind it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That phone needs to go off. No recording in the building. Off and out. Tim, Juan, Jojo.
Can I get your name?
Outside the building.
Can I get your name?
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Are you the supervisor?
So you want to go to jail?
Do I want to go to jail?
Yeah.
For recording in a public building?
I'm calling the police. He won't stop recording.
Okay. Maybe the police can explain it.
Okay.
Right. Good afternoon.
Hey, how we doing?
Good. What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Conley, stuff.
Nice to meet you. And are you the only one here?
I am.
Okay. So I'm not sure why they called you.
Okay. Full of Science says no photography or any type of laws.
Yes, I do understand that, but this is just a sign. So this sign has to be backed by statute. It has to be backed by law.
Alright guys, listen up. This is where the heat starts. A simple act of recording inside a public building instantly turns into a confrontation. The employee claims recording is illegal, but cannot cite a single law. The cameraman stands firm, demanding a supervisor and reminding them that a sign alone cannot override state statute. This sets the stage for a tense battle over rights and authority in a public space.
Okay.
Because members of the public have the right to live in public buildings and record. It's been established in court.
You're talking about your First Amendment, I understand.
Yes, exactly. It's my First Amendment to do what I'm doing. So, for whatever reason you think because the Secretary of State put up a sign here, that bars the members of the public from recording, but he doesn't have the authority to do that. Yeah. So if you can explain to them that I have the right to be in here and record. I mean, I'm not.
Do you want him trespass from the building? Do you want him trespass from the building?
Yes, trespass him, and he's not allowed to be inside the
They are allowed to trespass you from the building.
From a public building?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand that they can't do that unless I commit a crime? You can't trespass members of the public from a public space unless they've broken the law. I'm not trying to teach you anything.
You're saying that you're causing a disturbance.
What disturbance am I causing? Just simply being in here recording is not causing a disturbance.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Taking personal information out of people.
Okay, I'll show you something really quickly. That might help you.
We're gonna go this way, sir.
This is why we do what we do to change things like this.
Okay, so
All right.
you're interrupting the flow of regular.
I wasn't. I'm not interrupting anything.
Okay.
All right. I'm not in anybody's way. I'm not preventing anybody from carrying out their business here
Do
today.
you have
Now pay attention, because here the pressure increases fast. Staff members threaten jail for merely holding a camera, ignoring that recording in a public area is protected. The police are called, even though no crime has been committed. The videographer stays calm and refuses to back down, insisting that someone show him an actual statute instead of empty threats and power plays meant to intimidate the public.
You need to take me off of that film. You hear me?
I see the disturbance you're creating.
Sir, him reacting to me is not me creating a disturbance. That's him creating a disturbance. Him reacting to me, I never engaged him. So he reacted to me.
Sure.
That
This is a
doesn't.
flow of business.
Okay.
You're now.
Okay, I'm not in the way.
Okay, can you take him outside?
Please.
Because he's in
Okay,
the.
he'll be violating my rights, and that'll be a lawsuit.
Guys,
All right.
let's do me a favor. Everybody that's not here, go in that door.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. Right?
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'll come talk to you. This gentleman wants an audience. We don't want to provide that for him, so please go into that door and let my partner come inside.
Okay. Do you want me to read this to you? It doesn't matter?
You too, sir.
Okay. Well, I would hope you would uphold my right here today to do what I'm doing.
Am I not doing that at all right now?
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But I want them to know that I'm able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can explain to them that I'm able to be here and record.
5-2. Is there another unit coming here?
Alright guys, this is where the first officer steps in. He acknowledges the no photography sign, but the cameraman instantly challenges it, explaining that signs without statutory authority hold no legal weight. He cites First Amendment rights to gather information in public buildings. The officer tries to balance both sides, but the staff push for trespass, even though no disturbance has occurred and no laws have been broken.
We need another unit to come here.
I just want to document matters of public interest. That's why I'm here.
I gave you my name and badge number. I'm guessing you're going to refuse to give me your name now?
Not right now. Depending on how it goes. Wait, depending on how it goes, I might introduce myself to you at the end of the day. So don't prejudge me yet. Don't prejudge me. When we finish, depending on how it goes.
See, it's strange how you can demand something from me, but when I ask you politely for something.
No, I'm not demanding.
You said name and badge number as soon as I open the door.
Yes, but that's your.
Because what?
Because you're required to do that.
Because
You're a public employee, right?
Exactly.
You're required to identify yourself to the members of the public.
It's a First Amendment activist. Okay.
I
When I'm
would
out of the building, I
wouldn't-
took away his audience.
I wouldn't describe.
Thanks for everybody's name and badge number for us. They want to trespass in public building.
May I have your name and your badge number, sir?
Yep.
No?
What's going on, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
May I have your name and your badge number?
Yeah, George is 559.
Nice to meet you. What about you, sir? I appreciate it. Thank
How
you.
you doing?
I'm great. I'm just here to document matters of public interest, and they told me that I couldn't be here and record.
There were multiple people that were upset that he was recording them while they were doing transactions of their DMV.
You know everything have been recorded, so I would advise you to.
Listen closely, because now the narrative shifts. The staff argue that recording is disturbing the environment, but the cameraman shows that he never approached anyone or blocked any business. Disturbance cannot be created just because someone reacts emotionally to a camera. Their reaction is not his crime. This exposes the common tactic of manipulating disturbance claims to silence accountability.
Make sure what you're saying is accurate.
The guy that just said, please don't record me when I'm doing the.
Yeah, but he's in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. He can ask me to stop recording him in public.
Sure, they
Right.
posted signage asking the photography and recording.
And I was explaining to him that there is a sign here, but this sign needs to be backed up by statute. You can just put up a sign to tell me not to do what I have the right to do. I have a First Amendment right to be here and document my activity here today. So if you stop me from doing that, you're violating my First Amendment right.
Okay.
Right? So yes, there is a sign. Anybody can put up a sign here. I can put up a sign here that says no red shirts. Are you gonna abide by that? It's not backed up by law. Right?
Sure.
Every sign has to be backed up by law. It has to be a statute on it. You just can put up a sign. I don't care if the Secretary of State put it up himself. It's as good as the paper it's on. It has to be backed up by law. So this is just to prevent me from doing what I'm doing here right now. And this is part of why we do what we do, to break down these barriers,
Sure.
to give the public access to the government.
Here's the thing,
Right?
when you start arguing with people,
I am not.
then you start getting into territory where it's
listen.
like, now it's disturbing the peace
Listen,
kind of thing. So,
I-
no,
okay.
Listen,
I'll let you speak.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, that is, I think, probably why we ended up here.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Okay. Everything was recorded.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
can play it back for you later. I walked in here. I never disturbed anyone. The lady came out. The first thing she said was, "Turn that off and get out of here."
Alright guys, this part hits hard. The videographer emphasizes that he is simply documenting matters of public interest. He challenges the hypocrisy. Staff demand his name, yet refuse to identify themselves, even though they are required to under public employee policy. Officers attempt to manage the tension, but the staff remain focused on ejecting him rather than understanding the law they are supposed to follow.
They didn't even ask me why I was here and what I was doing, right? So if there was any confrontation, it wasn't on my part. All I was doing was standing here and recording. And they told me that I couldn't do what I have the right to do. So
Were you inside of here?
I was standing right there. I was standing right here, just past the door. And then when he told me that he was calling the police, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait for you guys. I don't want to disrupt business. I'm gonna stand here peacefully and wait for you. I could have walked in there, as I have the right to do, but I'm not here to disrupt business. So I stood here and waited for you guys.
Okay, cool.
So right.
Who were you talking to inside?
It was the lady. I think she's one of the supervisors.
Was it this lady
Yeah,
here?
that lady there.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the one that told me to get out.
Gotcha. Just give us 1 second.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Can I have her name?
Her name's on her.
Yeah, but she wouldn't tell me what her name is.
So the reason that they don't allow recording in here is
Okay.
because people are coming here with
Private information.
correct, like sensitive documents.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why they asked that you don't record inside. I'm sure you wouldn't want somebody recording your.
Yeah, but I haven't recorded anybody's information.
I know, but
At
that's the reason why they don't allow it in here.
Right,
So
but
at this time, they're asking you to leave.
okay,
We are here asking you to leave.
okay.
If you refuse to leave,
Okay.
you are going to be cited for trespassing.
Cited for trespassing.
Correct.
Okay. And then after that, if I still choose to be here after I'm cited, what's going to happen? Because you can trespass me from a public place where I have a right to be.
So we can trust you from a public place. You are welcome to be here until something happens and you are asked to leave by an administrator of this facility.
Okay, and then why? So why am I being trespassed?
Because they don't want you recording in here. They've asked that you don't record in here. You're continuing to record.
They don't have that authority.
Here things escalate even more. The officer explains that customers feel alarmed and disturbed, but discomfort is not disorderly conduct. The cameraman reminds them that the First Amendment isn't conditional on someone's feelings. Signs must be backed by law, and no one has produced one. Staff argue about sensitive documents, yet they themselves operate under continuous surveillance cameras. The double standard becomes obvious.
This is my First Amendment right.
Correct, but
Yeah.
people are feeling disturbed. They're disturbing.
If you're welcome to record from the parking lot.
Okay, just because they're uncomfortable doesn't mean I'm being disorderly. Their feelings do not trump my right to be in here and record. Okay, it doesn't.
So let
Right.
me ask you this. I would, and because I don't want you to be cited for trespassing.
Okay,
Why are we continuing this?
because I want them to know that I have the right to be here and do what I'm doing without them asking me to get out of a building where I have the right to be.
I know, but what's the ultimate goal here?
The ultimate goal
Yes.
is for them to be educated. It's for them to understand that any member of the public has the right to come in here and record and observe their public employees in the course of their duties. Right? So, because the first thing she told me when I walked in was, shut it off and get out. And she doesn't have that authority to tell me to do that. So I want her to understand that she's not able to tell a member of the public to leave a public place where they have the right to be. And observing public employees in the course of their duties, I believe, is a civic duty. It's a civic duty.
However, when you're coming in here, getting up in the traffic, and being a little confrontational with people could cause them to feel
No.
alarmed and disturbed.
No, I wasn't confrontational. They were confrontational with me.
I know, but right now you're being a little excited.
Yeah, right, because my right is being violated. So, yeah, I don't appreciate that. You're asking me, you're telling me that I have to leave here, that I'm disturbing the peace, which I am not doing. So that's enough reason for me to be a little bit amped up.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, we're gonna step out. I'd ask you.
Alright guys, this is where the officer pushes the trespass argument. They state he can be removed from a public building if an administrator requests it, but the cameraman counters correctly. You cannot trespass someone lawfully conducting activity in a public space unless a crime occurs. He repeatedly asks for the statute behind the sign, proving he is acting within the law. The staff still refuse to provide one.
You mind stepping out with us? And
Right. Okay. Let me read this to you. This is a U.S.
okay, I'm asking
appeals
you
court
to
decision.
step outside because we're gonna step outside.
And if I don't step outside, yeah. Right. Thank you.
This gentleman's uncomfortable, just so you know.
At the end of the day, sir, I just want them educated.
Sure.
I just want them educated.
But I don't know who you're educating.
The staff, the people that work here. The lady that told me the first words out of her mouth was "shut it off and get out of here." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if she can do that, imagine what else she could do.
Can I see your ID, sir?
My ID?
Yes.
Why do you need my ID?
We're making contact with you. I'd like to.
Oh, I don't know. Unless I've committed a crime, I don't have to show you my ID. I don't have any obligation to identify myself to you unless I commit a crime.
What's your name?
I'm not going to give you that either. It's the same as giving you my ID.
Okay.
Right. I have no obligation to identify myself to you.
All right.
If you suspect me of a crime, then we can go from there.
So we got a bunch of people here.
Okay.
They feel alarmed and disturbed.
Okay. I hear you.
I understand what you're trying to do here.
Okay.
Okay. And they called us here.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I understand what you're doing, but you have to understand too. We have to do our job too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
And
ask
what's
you-
your job? Your job is to uphold my right. You swore an oath to the Constitution.
All right, sir. So
Yeah.
based on what's been going on here, there are now customers here
Okay.
who are advising us that they're being alarmed and disturbed by your presence. Therefore, you are now suspected of disorderly conduct. I need you to present me with your ID, please.
So somebody complaining that I'm exercising my constitutional right is me causing a disturbance. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying on camera? Okay.
It's multiple people, not just one person.
Okay, but you do understand that. Let me show you this. This might help
Right now,
you.
I'm asking you for your identification.
Well, I don't have my ID on me.
Here the confrontation sharpens. Officers demand ID, claiming now he is suspected of disorderly conduct simply because people feel upset. The cameraman rejects the ID request, reminding them that unless he has committed a crime, he does not have to identify. He cites case law establishing that exercising a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. The officers attempt to shift the narrative from First Amendment to disorderly conduct.
What's your name?
The only way I'm going to identify myself is if you articulate what crime I've committed.
Disorderly conduct.
Okay, in which way?
You are disturbing this gentleman's peace.
Disturbing his peace.
Yes, and he's alarmed and disturbed by your behavior. And
Just recording?
well, we're now beyond recording. Now we're getting in.
So what did I do to disturb his peace? My lawyer needs to know that. What did I do to disturb?
That's why I asked you to turn around, which you did, but he's still yelling and just.
So I'm the reason why he's yelling. I'm making him yell. I can control what he does. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, you could control it because he wouldn't yell if you turned the video off.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I believe that.
Like-
Secretary of State, I just spoke with him.
Yeah.
Secretary of State Sergeant advised me that there's sensitive documents being passed around, including social security numbers,
Okay.
driver's license numbers, things that people don't want shared in the public,
Okay.
which is why they have those signs. And
Okay.
they do. The Secretary
Well,
of
I'm
State
just-
is en route.
Yeah.
Let me talk first
Yeah, okay.
before you read up your statement. Okay. They're en route, and they said that they do have a statute that falls under, and if you're not
Okay,
going to
okay.
abide by
No,
it,
I need to see it. Remember what I said when I first walked in here? Show me the statute. If there's a statute behind it, I don't break the law. If that's a law, I will leave. I don't break
right
the law.
now, the law they're suggesting you broke is disorderly conduct. Which I
Okay.
advised you when I first came here
Okay.
that you were disrupting the orderly business of this
It's-
establishment.
Everything is recorded. That's fine. This is a U.S. appeals court ruling. Simons versus United States, 390 U.S. 377,
It's
1968.
constitutional law.
Wait, the claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. A denial of them would be a denial of due process law.
You're not being arrested
Right.
for recording.
Okay?
That's what you're missing.
This time
Right, but-
you're
Being investigated for disorderly conduct.
Okay, so
That's criminal law.
okay.
That's not constitutional.
Okay, I
What
mean-
you're claiming is constitutional with the video camera. Okay, so
Right,
be it.
right.
We'll let Secretary of State handle that part.
Okay.
What we're telling you is we're here for the criminal part, which is the disorderly conduct.
Okay,
The gentleman out here has said multiple times he's came up here and told you to stop recording him.
okay.
All right, and every time you swing the camera, he's feeling that he's violated.
So you understand?
I mean, I know it's funny for you. But
No,
it's not
no,
funny
no.
for
The
him.
reason it's funny is he has no expectation of privacy in public. He's in public. If I was at his house or his property, it's different. He's in public. No one has an expectation of privacy in public,
He's
though.
here where he's presenting sensitive documents that he doesn't want on camera, and which is why the Secretary of State has these signs saying, "Please no recording."
Okay, and do you also know that just capturing sensitive information on camera is not a crime? What is a crime is what you do with that information.
Alright guys, this part exposes the core issue. The officer claims the Secretary of State has statutes backing the sign, but cannot show it. The cameraman stands his ground. If a law exists, he will obey it. If not, they cannot criminalize recording. He also explains that capturing sensitive information is not illegal. Misusing it is. This moment showcases the importance of knowing your rights when officials attempt to overreach.
Just simply capturing it on camera is not a crime whatsoever.
So, but now you be in
Right.
possession of information.
That is still not a crime. It's if I use that information and do something illegal, then it becomes a crime. But simply capturing stuff. What? Look around. There's a bunch of cameras here. There's a bunch of cameras here, right?
These are under the control of the Secretary of State in the state of Illinois.
Which I can FOIA it. I can get those footage.
And
Any
this
member of the
time,
public can.
Any sensitive information would be redacted.
Okay, right. But and first of all, no one here has a proof that I've recorded anyone's information. And like I said, even if I inadvertently captured anything on camera, that's not a crime in itself. What's a crime is if I use that information.
What we're doing now is you're sidetracking us I'm looking for your identification.
Okay. Well, I don't have my ID on
Okay,
me.
well then, my partner's gonna grab your name, your birthday, your address,
And-
phone number. And if you refuse, then,
Okay,
because I know
right.
that was gonna be your next
Okay.
question, right?
Yes.
Your next, refuse to present these documents, you will now be obstructing an investigation.
Okay.
So again, now, I go back and ask you, what is your end goal here?
My end goal is when I first walked in here, right? Like I said, the first thing she said was shut the camera off and get out. So my goal here is to educate. Is to educate public employees that the members of the public have the right to be in public and document the activities of their public employees, right? Turner versus Driver is a U.S. Circuit Court or U.S. Appeals Court ruling that says that members of the public have the right to record public officials in the course of their duties,
Okay.
right? And that's what I'm doing here.
But you're also recording people,
Right.
citizens
People
who
in-
have an expectation of privacy.
People in public. That's what you don't understand. People in public.
Where they're passing-
Okay, it's no different from me being outside recording. It's no different. You know, it's the only thing that restricts my right to do what I'm doing is time, place, and manner. Those are the only three things that restrict my right to record anywhere in the public. If there was a sign that says this is restricted, do not enter. And if I do that, then that's a crime. But just being in a place that I'm allowed to be in and recording cannot be construed
Sir,
into a
just so you
crime.
know, I have to tell you from Sergeant Flores, the
Yeah.
Secretary of State Police, badge number 0995.
Okay.
You've been formally trespassed from this establishment.
Formally? Okay.
Sergeant Flores, Secretary of State Police, star number
Oh yeah. Okay.
0995.
I'm not gonna stay here if you tell me I'm trespassing, but I need the formal trespass, and I'm gonna leave
That comes in its form of a citation.
in the form of a citation.
Yes.
No, the way the trespass law works is you have to tell someone to leave.
Okay, well, Sergeant Flores just told
Okay,
me to tell you to leave.
then I'll leave.
Finally, the conclusion hits. The officer communicates that a sergeant has formally trespassed him, though no citation is provided. The cameraman agrees to leave peacefully but states clearly that his lawyer will follow up. The documentary ends with a sharp reminder. When public employees misuse authority or ignore constitutional rights, accountability must follow. This entire encounter highlights the ongoing struggle between government power and public freedom.